Have you ever been called selfish, an outsider, or maybe even a murderer? I have been called all of these things, and much, much worse. This is my tale. Buckle down, people. This will take a while to explain. About a week ago, on the planet DV6, a planet close by to your home planet, which is the BF7, a female Saiyan was gone missing with little info about how she disappeared. This is the female Saiyan in question. Her name was Ari. Like the other Saiyans, she loved to fight. She even challenged me, of all people, to a fight from time to time. Which was surprising for me, knowing who I am, but even she was able to challenge me. But, the next day, that same Saiyan was found. Found dead, that is. There was an uproar caused by all nearby Saiyans, screaming, yelling, demanding answers of how she died. Then the news came to light, and it made my day a whole lot worse. If you know anything about my kind, it's that we are really hated by Saiyans. Only because of what our ancestors did in the past. All we know about the killer at that time, it was one of my kind. One of the Frieza Clansmen, or I should refer to them as the Frieza Men from this point forward. And disgust filled inside me. I could not believe my eyes. That just when things were starting to settle down, my people keep doing this to the Saiyans. And not just them, but to all kinds of races as well. It's like we were born to cause trouble. And to make things even worse, specifically for me, a Saiyan saw me after the news had been announced. And being that I'm a Frieza man, he declared me the killer, and all nearby Saiyans, once they all saw me, they exploded. They blew up in anger, and they charged me in this big, massive group, trying to avenge their comrade. Now, I would fight them back, but that would make things much worse for myself. So instead, I ran away as far and as fast as I could. A few days later, while I was hiding from my pursuers, I have met one of my brothers, another Frieza man, but this one, he was not like your typical Frieza man. He did not want to kill everyone in sight. Instead, he had compassion, something my kind does not have often. He understood my situation, and actually directed my attention to your planet, Planet BF7, in the hopes of getting help from someone on that planet, because he trusts the people on your planet. The thing was, I could not go there myself, because my pursuers would have found me trying to leave the planet, and they would have just pursued me. And once I landed on your planet, the group were already, I am fast, but the Saiyans will eventually catch up. And when they did, it would. How am I supposed to convince the people on your planet to help me when there's a group trying to come after me, when you're most likely trying to help them as well? So instead, my brother went to your planet for me. You never actually saw him because he was pretty secretly about moving around on your planet, let's say. So most likely you never saw him. If you did, it was only for like a brief moment. However, he did bring someone back. A day later, that was. So, a girl named Kamari came back with my brother, and she listened to my situation and believed every word I said. And thankfully, well, I was very thankful for that, you could say. So, after we all introduced ourselves and whatnot, we decided to split up, looking for the killer and proving my innocence. So while I was searching for the killer, I ended up finding another dead Saiyan. This time, there was a Freezeman looking down on him with blood in his hands. That made me think right there and then that he was the killer that we were all looking for. Then he saw me. Anger came over his face, probably because I'm not in his group, nor will I ever will be, and he charged at me. Now, normally in this situation I would fight back, but I know that my partner Kamui was nearby, so I had a plan. I ran away myself towards her, luring him to her, and then she jumped on him, surprised him, and then really quickly she took him out before he could put up much of a fight. After taking him in, we learned some very useful information. The Friesman's name was Ryotaro, which that name was familiar to me. And then I really remembered him because he mentioned a group full of Friesmen where they planned these murders against the Saiyans out of pure spite. Like, this group was specifically after the Saiyans. Because, well, they think they're superior to them in every way, so they gotta take them out one by one to prove as such, because they feel the need to do that for some reason. But what made things more complicated for us was he was not Ari's killer. Actually, there were, and I never knew this, there were 100 Friesmen in that group. And they all left the planet, and they all split it up into much smaller groups. And me and Kamari's mouth dropped to the floor. Especially because, well, how were we supposed to find all of these killers? Or potential killers, I should say. They left the planet, they split it apart, they could be anywhere in this galaxy, for all we know. Anywhere. There was not much we could have done about it. And also, Calvary did not have much more time to spare on this situation because she was already dealing with enough problems on her own home planet, which is your planet. And she made that clear to me before she left. But before she left, I stopped her. Not because I was going to argue that she should have stayed and helped me any longer. No. She helped more than enough. Instead, I wanted to come back with her to your planet because I knew she was a very strong ally. And if she was a strong ally, then the people on her home planet are also strong allies. And if they're good people like her, why would I turn down the opportunity to join these group of people? Like, there's just no way that I would pass up on the opportunity. And so, I did just that. I came back with her to your home planet, and now I'm an official member of Brainfist just like the rest of you, which is absolutely awesome. Now, the group of Fezamen that's still out there, it's still on my mind to this day. Especially because we don't even know what it's called. Like, we tried to get what the name of it was, but Ryotaro would never say what the name was. So we were just stuck, not knowing what we were dealing with. Only that there's hundreds of them out there. But there's one thing I know for sure. We will, or at least I will, most definitely hear from them again. Like, if they were there on that home planet, well, not home planet, but on the planet DV6, there's no doubt in my mind that they will go to other planets and try to stir something up. Possibly even your planet. No one knows. They're pretty unpredictable at times, so you never know when they'll show up. Also, after all this, I learned a very important lesson. Despite all of my hopes, my kind has not learned, I should say, has not changed since before. Or at least, a very big majority of it. There's still a few of my kind that have some sense to them, which is very good. And I'm very glad that I, Strider, am one of those people. And I will make sure that I will stay that way. Count on it.